been busy. Up front's killing it. On the press, killing it.
Come on.
Who ready for the #1 show? Come on, we're claiming it. Y'all ladies smell good. I don't know if it's one of y'all or all of y'all.
I thought he was the
collective. Come on, Dress. You ain't great. And they not gonna see the leg. Don't worry about, cause this is like they going to see this part. But they need to see the leg, child. Legs is killing it. This is the ladies show.
That's right.
For the ladies. So I had to come with it.
Get ready.
We're not shy. None of us are shy.
Never that.
You know me, just give me something real quick before we start. Everybody put your hand in
Come
there.
on now.
I don't know what that was doing, but I just wanted to, I literally forgot everything we were supposed to talk about. I can just live my best life.
We could have just taped this.
Period.
What's going on, guys? I'm your girl, Jamila Mustafa, and this is BET Talks. I'm here with the cast of Tyler Perry's Divorced Sistas coming to BET+. This series is brought to you by one of the most ubiquitous names in TV and film, but it's not about this male mastermind. This series is all about the ladies. This series focuses on some of the most powerhouse women in entertainment, the leaders of the industry. They have beauty, brains, and brilliance. And today on BET Talks, I am joined by the intelligent, the iconic, the one, the only Khadeen and Drea. Please put your hands together for the woman with the style, with the class, and the pizzazz. I'm talking about Porscha Coleman.
Porscha.
And the it girl since it was itching. She gives what needs to be gave. She's consistent, she's accurate, and she's everlasting and iconic. The one, the only, the LeToya Lucky.
Come on, who wrote this?
Can we take you
Listen,
everywhere?
I had it written, but who needs a car when I'm with
The way it boomerang.
It's a boomerang if I see one.
You know what? You guys are good karma, because when I threw it out, it came right
It's
back.
because it was meant to be.
And that's
It's
how
yours.
blessings happen for you guys. And
Amen.
ladies, this is big season. You guys have been on a roll. You guys have been filming, and now the series is here.
It's here.
Please.
Finally.
It's real.
Before we dive into the characters, tell us, what is Divorced Sistas all about?
Okay, yes. Now, we've been having to do this a little bit. We had to
Go,
start it
girl.
out this way because I think a lot of people saw the title and they thought, oh my God, is this a a reality show? And we're like, guys, it's a scripted series.
Now you know. Now
Okay.
you know.
We're scripted. It's scripted.
We're acting.
Okay, we're acting.
Yes.
These are accuracy. We acting.
They're
not divorced.
Okay.
They are happily married.
I'm happily
guys.
married.
Very much.
Newlywed, as a matter of fact.
Yes.
You know what
She's
I'm
in
saying?
that blissful phase.
Yeah, and
I'm
baby.
still in that blissful phase.
Who that
Always
is?
will be.
You the newlywed with the ring out
Come
again.
on. You ever see that rock? The rock is crazy.
Man, listen.
So crazy.
Baby good. Okay, I love him. But getting back to what it's about, and first of all, we would all like to thank Tyler Perry for this amazing opportunity.
Thank you, TP.
This we wouldn't obviously have a show without him. So thank you again, Mr. Perry.
Yes.
But the show is about 5 women on a journey, just through life, and you know how it is and what we have to carry as Black women.
Yes.
And we take our sisterhood and our friendships very seriously.
Yes.
A lot of y'all are gonna find yourselves throwing your shoes at the TV and talking to the and I know she TikTok. It's gonna be a lot of that.
Yes.
Every character is relatable.
Yes.
But we hold each other accountable. These characters hold each other accountable. They show up for each other, good or bad.
Amen.
We don't always get along.
That's
No.
a fact.
You know we be beefing with our sisters.
That's
Of
fact.
course.
Okay.
Group chat be kind of,
Group
you know.
chat be
Group chat
crazy.
be a little messy.
You know what I'm saying? And the love that, and you see the chemistry we have.
Already.
Let
You
me
know what I
tell
mean?
you
So it
something.
plays out on screen.
That is something that we did not have to
We
have
work
to
on.
practice
We
that.
did not.
The
That-
chemistry.
So you didn't need you didn't
No.
need to do a weekend retreat
No.
or
No.
You know what was kind of like our
Felt so
retreat?
naturally.
What?
It was working together to
Yep.
prepare.
Facts.
So if anybody knows, filming at Tyler Perry Studios is not conventional. It's kind of like an intensive, like a master class
Yes,
that
it
you're
is.
in.
Yeah.
And you are together for, I would say, about 3 weeks.
Yes, you are.
1 week is prep, and 2 weeks you film.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
during that prep week, we made it a point to get together.
Yes, we did.
To bond, to go over lines, to rehearse, to learn each other's characters and how, as actors, we were building those characters out. And that organically built the chemistry that you see here today. okay? Alongside,
Facts.
let's not forget, Brianna
And
Price
Jen.
and Jennifer Sears.
With Bridget and
Yes.
Tiffany.
Bridget
I feel like
and
you
Tiffany
guys'
on the
characters
show.
are coming out, like, even
yeah.
naturally as you
Yes.
guys interact with each other.
I mean, I had met LeToya several years ago. We played best friends in a
Sure
movie
did.
on BET Plus.
She went off on
coincidentally.
me, y'all, on
I
a Christmas
did.
film.
I had to go off on
I
her
had to go
Christmas
off
film.
on somebody on a Christmas
It's the
film.
It's so bad, but
She
BET
was so
Plus,
upset.
You know what I'm saying? I had to give it a business. So even
You
when
know
I
the black family, we gonna argue during the holidays.
She had her finger in my face.
I did. It was all up in here with it too. It was so
working on
disrespectful, but it's all love. So even at the audition, I met Khadeen.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, she's in the room. And I did my part, and Tyler Perry stopped me during the audition. Was like, this is really good, but no, you need another character. We're gonna give you Naomi. And I was like, oh, okay. 30
And
minutes
killed it.
later, came
Killed
in the
it.
room,
And did.
and I
And
read for
did.
Naomi, and he was like, you are Naomi. So
booked.
and booked.
I
She
love
missed
We
the
all have
callback.
different
Strange.
stories
Yeah.
about how we got to this point.
Yeah.
Mine was on the day of the callbacks. Houston decided to snow. Yeah.
Atlanta got snow
Houston,
too.
yeah, but we
all
like
got snow.
Houston doesn't get snow. It hadn't had snow like that in 65 years.
Crazy.
They closed the airports. Then I tried to drive to Austin, San Antonio, Dallas, the surrounding airports. Couldn't because it was black ice on the road. So it was really one of those moments of, okay, God, whatever you have for me is for me. And I really am just gonna place this at your feet because I can't do nothing. And it goes to show you that what is meant for you, you can't
pass
even
you
get
by.
it's for
can't.
you. You can't even get in the way of it.
cannot.
Nothing can keep it from you, not weather.
Not
keep it
black
from you.
ice.
Exactly.
Nothing.
I love that we each have a unique story about
Yeah.
how we got here. Because
Yes.
that's just life, right? We're just out here trying to figure things out. So back in 2018, I had gotten one episode of Bruh, which is a show that he also had on BET Plus. And I played Nurse Jackie. Okay? So Nurse Jackie, and I said, I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna be the best Nurse Jackie ever. I said, this is my one time to get in front of Tyler Perry, honey. And at the time,
Nurse.
honey, listen,
Nurse
I
Jackie.
played the heck
Was you
out of
cussing
Nurse
somebody out?
Jackie. I was giving him a little side eye.
Was you
know
taking
what I'm saying?
tips?
I did the scene and I gave it my all. Tyler pulled me aside and he was like, I'm gonna keep my eye on you and I'm gonna keep my eye out for you if something comes
Look at that.
my
That's
way.
a real one.
And baby, fast forward 7 years later, and this was a moment in my life. At the end of 2024, I was feeling so burnt out just from everything. From the year, it was just the hustle and the bustle of it all. And I, like LeToya said, I just kind of relinquished everything to God.
Come on.
At the end of the year, I told my manager, I said, I don't know what's next for me, but whatever it is, I welcome it with open arms. And in relinquishing that control and being still,
Period.
Mr. Perry called my phone on January 6th. And he said, I have something I'd like you to read, and I'd like you to audition. And I went in for the chemistry read that almost didn't make it in because I had snow in Atlanta too. But by the grace of God, made it into LA for the chemistry read session, auditioned, all that good stuff. And then, baby, they called my phone like 2 weeks later.
Come on.
In Geneva.
He saw something obviously in
Geneva.
us
Yeah.
because things were happening. Like I went in for a different role. She missed a flight.
Yeah.
She almost couldn't get there. She had
Baby,
to
what no
call.
flight?
What is
What
meant for
minute?
you is meant for
Airport
you.
was closed.
That
What
is
is
the
the
thing.
Shout out to
Wow.
God.
At the end of the day,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, that's what it's about.
Yes.
What
That
is
is the
for you is
theme.
always
And
gonna come.
I was gonna say, to talk about the title Divorced Sistas, and this is my question. In America, is there a stereotype surrounding divorced sisters? And if so, what is it? When you think about a divorced sister, what do you see and feel?
Well, you look at that one.
Yeah.
Come on.
To have been, a divorcee and gone through that journey, which is not easy. A lot of people feel like, oh man, she's, either she can't keep a man or he can't keep a woman or, there's gotta be something wrong with this person. And that's not it. That's not it. Things just don't work out sometimes the way you plan it. And sometimes God has something different from you. Sometimes there's a lesson that needs to be learned in that. Sometimes things have to happen to, like in my situation, if I never got married, if I never met that man, I wouldn't have 2 beautiful children today. Them babies had to get here. And I was destined to be their mother, you know what I mean? And he was obviously destined to be their father. And there's no love lost. Also, I feel like after people go through divorces, they feel like, oh, I'm scared to love again. My mother, they divorced on my 10th birthday, March 11th. She never remarried. Now, granted, my daddy married 3-4 times after.
Come on, Daddy. Wasn't rolling.
Everybody got their own story. You know what I'm saying? No judgment.
We listen, we
But
don't
we
judge.
don't
Come on, Daddy.
judge.
We listen.
You know what I mean? I just always felt like I'm a wife. I was called to be a wife. I'm a wife now. You know what I mean? And I don't take marriage lightly. I take it very serious. And even after my situation, I did the therapy. I went to see the lady. Okay, I wanted to make sure that everything, that I was healed before I even thought about opening up my heart again to marriage, to relationships. But I knew I wasn't gonna stay bitter. And I think a lot of people look at people who have gone through divorces as bitter or, or damaged goods. And that's not what it is. And even with this title, with Mr. Perry being intentional about that, it got your attention, didn't it?
Come on, it did. Well, think about it. The word divorce, or you hear divorce, you think about failure, right?
do.
I have friends now, I think in this season of life, I have friends who have experienced divorce, either have gone through it, remarried after, decided not to remarry after because they realize that some relationships are seasonal. And there's no failure in any of that. Everything is a lesson. And I love that LeToya says she went to see the lady child because she said in therapy, you can also realize that sometimes you need to heal yourself.
Right.
There's things that you need to work on as an individual. So I applaud people who are brave enough to say, you know what, this relationship no longer serves me.
Yeah.
My husband and I wrote a book, We Over Me, Honey. And in that book, we say that marriage is a service-based industry. And if you do not want to be of service to someone, then marriage may not be for you. And that's okay.
Come on. Now,
That's okay.
My parents, just to be personal, they've been married for like 35. After a while, you just stop counting. Almost 40 years. Like they all, we all. But they've been married. But I'll say this to say, is there ever a point, because I didn't know this until like last year that there could have been points throughout their marriage where they could have gotten divorced. Even that. How do you deal? It's one thing, like you said, to have the power to say, this doesn't fit me, I'm going to pivot. What do you do when there's times in your marriage where you feel like you want to get divorced? If someone's looking at the show, they say, well, I'm not a divorced sister. But that feeling, what do you do and navigate to continue to move on?
With my husband and I, particularly, we realized that marriage is one ongoing conversation. We never stop being honest and transparent about who we are, what we require out of the relationship.
Right.
So on our podcast, Ellis Ever After, because we got the gamut, y'all. It's a show, it's a book, it's all the things, right? But we speak very candidly about the things that we've dealt with privately. We bring it to the public forum because we feel like people need to understand that they are not the anomaly. We are every day in and day out, typically dealing with a lot of the same things.
Yes.
And when you realize that somebody else is dealing with something just like you, you realize I may be able to fight through this. I may be able to have this conversation. I'm not alone. Maybe I can try this approach with speaking to my spouse so I feel heard and I feel seen. So there have been several times, don't get me wrong, within our 23 years together and almost 15 married, that we might have been divorced and remarried within the same marriage privately, but it's an ongoing conversation. And if you love each other and if you value each other, it's worth working on and putting the work in.
Come on now.
That's
I'm ready for some
crazy.
celebration, ladies. And so we done talked about the divorce. Let's just put the box up the divorce, put it in the cup. Now let's talk about the sisterhood, the sister, right? I really love how this show really explores the complexities of friendship.
I think that's the best part of the show. We all have our own dynamics. We all have our own relationships. But at the end of the day, we're all in a room together holding each other accountable or holding each other up when something is happening. We're all going through things on the show. We're not going to say it. Y'all got to tune in. But I love how we are all sticking by each other privately saying, girl, you wrong if you wrong. Because it's not like you can't have an honest conversation with your friend. Because sometimes the man may not always be the person that's in the wrong. But you got to be like, girl, wait a minute, that man loves you, that man has your best interests. Talk to him maybe this way. So I love how he does explore that because that's the truth. There's certain scenes where we're going at it. Where we are literally going at it like, girl, I'm not rocking with you right now. Get her out the room. Like, this is real life. Sometimes you go through that with your friends. So it's about how you come back to the sisterhood and love on each other again. Because friendships deserve work too.
Yes, they
the
do.
same effort that you put in your relationship is the same effort you should put in your job and with your friendships. Because if you want anything to flourish, you got to work at it. And that's what it's about. You got to have grace because not everybody's in a good space at the time. Let somebody have a moment.
Life be life, girl.
Life be life. You can't call your homegirl and be like, girl, how could you not be there for me? I can't stand you. And you're like, girl, I'm over here falling apart. You didn't know that.
Yes.
So talking about it and what you're going through is so powerful. And even for our men watching, please do not think that you guys cannot talk and express yourself too. The power of therapy. Yes. I think it's so deep within our culture how people did not want to go get help because we're taught not to.
Right.
Go see the lady.
Go see the lady, man.
Go get the help or talk to friends that you can trust and lean on to have an open conversation and don't act like everything's always okay. So again, we delve into a lot with this show. And again, Tyler Perry, thanks for writing a brilliant masterpiece. And these wonderful actresses. Like I said, we're only 3 of 5 and then a whole ensemble cast that really put in the work and delved into our roles to bring this thing to life.
Bring it to life.
Have you seen the key art photo?
You know that. I need
it's
to
right
be
outside.
up in it.
It's right outside your job.
If you want to go see it,
y'all
show
got the
you.
Billboard status.
It just says
Right in Times
it's
Square.
giving sisterhood.
Yeah.
It is.
We're all standing boldly.
It's real.
And leaning on each other too.
You know, and
Yeah.
that's it's like us against everything.
It is.
And I was gonna ask because when you shoot a series, when you're in acting and when you just engulf yourself in the process, but also it makes you say, throughout the process you start fact checking, right? You start saying, you learn more about yourself as they say, I learned so much about myself. I learned about my relationships. I know y'all learned about some friendships. Because shooting a show like this, you probably have realized, you know what, I haven't been the best friend to this friend. Or I have a friend like that. Or guess what, my girlfriends don't show up for me in this way. How has shooting this show in the process of Divorced Sistas, building your TV family, affected your personal relationships and friendships as a woman?
Yeah, it's definitely a mirror. And shout out to Jen and Bree.
Yeah, we have a
Shout
group
out to
chat.
Bree.
Let's
We
start
do.
there.
And Jen.
We
We're
have a group
still
chat.
sisters to this. I feel
are,
like
period.
even once the camera stopped rolling,
Yeah.
and Mr. Perry picture wrapped us all, we literally have still been in our group chat, checking on each other,
The memes,
going through
the
hard
funnies.
Hard times, birthday on
Yes.
set. We was right
What?
there. She had one of our hardest shooting days on her birthday on March 11th.
Yeah.
And we was all there. Cake coming out. We was all there side by side. She
It
was
was the
tearing,
sweetest
water
thing.
working.
It translated to real
And
life
it translated.
because
It
here
did.
we are today. But
It
for me,
does.
within my friendships, I realized that I needed to be more intentional with just if someone crosses my mind,
Get called.
just
Reaching
call
out.
and shoot the
Yeah.
text.
That matters.
You know, my friends and I have an understanding. I'm not your text you right back kind of girl. They know I have 1,000 things happening. I got 4 sons, a husband, a job, all the things, right? And my heart is always in the right place. I'm always like, y'all charge it to my mind, not my heart, because I really want to be there. But I have been more intentional now about if something crosses my mind, if someone crosses my mind, just send a message, make the call. I want to hear your voice. Sometimes it's not enough to send a text message because you can tell sometimes in someone's voice that something is off. So I've been trying to be more intentional about that within my personal friendships.
I
think
love
with
these
me,
tips for being a better sister.
Yeah. And listen and not judge. I know it's a
is. We
thing
listen
going
and we
on.
don't
judge. Yeah.
But sometimes just call to listen.
Yeah.
Especially
That's
when you
right.
send something off with one of your sisters.
Yeah.
You don't have to say anything. Just sit there and
her
listen.
speak.
Let her
That's right.
speak. Let her get it off her chest. Because you're her safe place. And also, in my experience, she's not living your experiences. It might be helpful.
Right.
But at the same time, let her get, hers out. And it don't always have to be compared to what you've been through.
Too. That's right, because that's the first thing I think even parents do that. Well, when I was dating back in 75, excuse me, ma'am, we are in 2025. Like, I
Period.
appreciate the advice, but at the same time, we are in a current time in a different space where dating looks different. Some of us are married on the show, maybe some of us are not. So many different dynamics are happening, but either way, you're gonna relate to all these characters or some of the characters on the show and be like, that's my girl,
That's me.
that's my man.
I know somebody
I
just
know
like
somebody
that. I did that
just
before.
like it.
Just like that.
The relatability is
Listen,
insane.
we've talked about it all, and I feel like I've even had a chance to know you ladies even more. Thank you for your transparency, your relatability, your honesty, your beauty, your brilliance, and I can go on for days.
Right back at you,
Thank
girl.
you.
Now,
Period.
ladies, okay?
What we doing?
Before I let you guys out of here, I have to put you to the ultimate test.
Oh,
Are
God.
you?
Yikes.
Listen, you know I got a couple
I'm
tricks
afraid.
on my sleeve.
What are we doing?
See, I knew y'all was gonna do
doing?
this.
We
That's
got
why I
you
wanted to
getting
hit it.
ready.
I didn't want to get y'all with it up
getting
front.
ready.
I had to get you with it on the back end. You know the vibes.
Oh, man.
Now, it's rapid fire. It's a this or that, and you're not answering as your beautiful selves. But I want you to think about your character and answer the rapid fire in your character.
Okay.
Okay. This
All
is a
right.
quick one. Heels or sneakers?
Sneakers.
Party or stay in the house?
At the
Stay in the
house.
house.
Party.
Taco or a steak?
Taco.
Steak.
Dress or a suit?
Suit.
Yes.
Dress.
BET or any other network?
BET,
BET,
all
baby.
It was a plus. That was
That's
a trick
not
one.
even a
You
question.
feel me? Divorced sisters or who else?
Nobody else.
Listen, you guys already know.
honey.
You guys already know the vibes. I'm your girl Jamila Mustafa, and this is BET Talks. I'm joined by the brilliant, the talented, the one and none other. Don't even try to compare. This is the incredible cast.
LeToya like it. Come
Come on, this is the group outro. This is what sisters do.
love
You
it.
guys already know
Yes,
where to go.
thank you.
BET Plus, June 10th. We out.
Bottle her up,
Okay.
y'all. Bottle her
All right,
up.
all right.
Great.